morning to Dr. Norman Taylor, the Deputy Lieutenant for Tyne and Wear, honoured guests, ladies and gentlemen, and of course a very special thank you and good morning to our veterans. As Mayor of Sunderland, may I welcome you all to the Civic Centre and thank you for joining us here today for this flag raising ceremony. Did you know that this could be probably will be the last Armed Forces Day ceremony at the Civic Centre, as next year we're hoping to be in our new building down on the Vaux site, and we're hoping to move probably autumn later.
1st of November will be
1st of November, so that's where we'll be, and the ceremony will be held there, and it'll be just as good, I'm sure it will. As one of my first civic ceremonies, it is particularly pleasing for me to be involved in such a prestigious event. Being able to show support for the armed forces is something I am passionate about and wish to commit to now and continue throughout my year in office. I am sure you will be aware that Wednesday of this week was National Reservists Day, and reservists give up their spare time to serve in the reserve forces, balancing their civilian life with a military career to ensure that should their country require them, they will be ready to serve as part of the military. Reserve forces make up approximately 1/6 of our armed forces personnel, and as such are integral to protecting the nation's security at home and overseas, particularly providing capability in specialist areas such as medical and cyber. However, the contributions they make to our armed forces often goes unrecognised, which is why it is important for us to pay thanks to the reservists today. Today's flag raising ceremony provides us all with the opportunity to think about and pay tribute to all those within the armed forces, including their families and support operations, who continue to make such a huge contribution and sacrifice for all of us in recent years. Therefore, I am honoured to represent the people of our city here today, as we join our colleagues across the country in raising a flag to celebrate Armed Forces Day. Sunderland has a long history of supporting our armed forces and has strong affiliations with not only our veterans but with our serving military. We are incredibly proud to have representation from 4th Regiment Royal Artillery and HMS Anson, and they're here with us today. 4th Regiment Royal Artillery is our adopted army regiment who regularly exercise their right to freedom of the city and who are a great support in helping us to maintain our largest remembrance parade, and this is the largest one outside of London. HMS Anson is our newly affiliated Astute class nuclear submarine and is one of the most sophisticated underwater vehicles ever built. It's now fully commissioned for work. HMS Anson represents the cutting edge of United Kingdom's military capabilities. She is armed with Tomahawk land attack missiles and Spearfish heavyweight torpedoes. This helps her in her role as an attack submarine. I very much hope to be able to visit HMS Anson and her crew in Falslane during my term in office, and hope to build up our relationships should our diaries and of course government restrictions allow me to do so. Our ties with RAF Bulmer and RAF Leeming remain as strong as ever, and we look forward to strengthening our ties with all of our military units in the coming years. I would like to take this opportunity to personally thank you all for your continuing support of the city, and if there is anything I can do as Mayor, please ask me. I will help in any way I can, so do not hesitate to ask. I will now hand over to Cllr Graeme Miller, who is the leader of the council, and he will say a few words. Councillor Miller.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Today, I would like to share with you the history of Armed Forces Day in the UK. Formerly known as Veterans Day, established in 2006, the UK celebrated its first Armed Forces Day on the last Saturday in June 2009. Sunderland for many years now has proudly celebrated this day with a flag raising ceremony at the Civic Centre, and our veterans would, in normal circumstances, follow this by hosting their own weekend of family fun and celebrations in Cllr. Public safety during the ongoing pandemic is paramount, and last year Sunderland moved its celebrations to a virtual event. Unfortunately, the veterans' celebrations in Cllr have once again been cancelled, but I know they are excited to bring the event back in 2022, all being well, and I'm sure we all look forward to that. Thanks to the hard work and strict precautions everyone in the UK and the North East have taken over the past 16 months to slow the spread of COVID-19 and keep us safe, this year we are delighted to be hosting an in-person celebration to commemorate the servicemen and women of the British Armed Forces. Because this ceremony is reduced capacity to adhere with government criteria and allow for social distancing, I would like to thank our veterans, partners and council colleagues who are here today, but also take the opportunity to say a big thank you to those who are not able to be here today for their understanding, and to let you know we very much look forward to seeing you all here next year for Armed Forces Day in 2022. And by here next year, I mean the new City Hall on the Vaux site, where I'm sure the Mayor will host an outstanding event. Whilst we are celebrating Armed Forces Day, we have also over the course of the week had the opportunity to celebrate National Reserves Day. This has given us all the opportunity to consider and celebrate the enormous contribution all aspects of the Armed Forces make to our lives and to this country. If you have not already done so, please share your message of thanks and support to our armed forces at #MySunderland. We often think of the contribution our armed forces make in terms of overseas military operations and deployments, but we have witnessed this year, perhaps more than ever, the vital contribution they make at home, whether supporting communities devastated by flooding, or more recently delivering PPE equipment to our hospitals, distributing food parcels, helping to construct the Nightingale hospitals, and their help to get everybody in the UK vaccinated against COVID-19. An outstanding job by outstanding people. Veterans, reservists, servicemen and servicewomen, we all owe you so much, and Armed Forces Day is our chance to say a huge thank you and let you know we appreciate all you do for the greater good of this country. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Councillor Miller. If you now follow me out, I'll walk behind the standard bearers, we'll go outside and we'll raise the flag. Thank you.
After you, sir. Go on, Nick.